Yeah. Hi. Welcome to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. Three guys are going to talk to each other and give their advice and opinions on Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. If you like the show, make sure to follow them on whichever podcast service you prefer and come back every single Friday for another upload or episode, whatever you prefer to call it. Have fun, I guess. Bye. Yeah, ta-ta. Bye. Yeah, see ya. Bye. Bye. Okay,
Now, Zach, but
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to
Table Talk
us.
Fridays.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday,
Table Talk Friday.
Pulling a D&D podcast. Happy birthday to us. All right, guys, pick up your beers. Come on, all together at once.
Oh wait, I can't reach.
Cheers, boys. Cheers, boys. 52 episodes in the can.
Is this how we're starting the episode?
Oh, yeah, we've already started recording.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That's amazing.
And that's the bit I told Drew I wanted to do at the beginning.
Everyone take a nice sip of your beer.
Yeah.
Get that ASMR into the mic.
Dude, let me tell you, Yingling, not that bad.
Not that bad. It's on the bottle. Yingling, not that bad.
That's what it says. Traditional lager, not that bad.
You know, I'll admit this this non-alcoholic root beer that I'm having, pretty bad, but it's fine. It's
Is it
cool.
really?
I'm gonna drink the rest of it. Absolutely.
Did I tell you, I tried, after talking to you about it on an episode of the podcast, I tried the non-sponsored Olipop root beer, and it was
Oh.
great.
Was it?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I need to try more root beers. I know they have a couple of the cool bottled versions
You
in
would
the
hate
grocery
it.
stores. Oh.
It tastes
well, never
healthy.
You know, we actually just got some Olipop cream soda over here.
Really? Did you like it?
It was
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's like healthy tasting soda,
Yeah.
and that's my jam.
See, I feel like I would like it if they sponsored us though. Like it would definitely be tastier.
They do sponsor a lot of podcasts and YouTubers, so I wouldn't be surprised if they hit us up like right now.
Hey, Olipop.
My phone
We've
starts
got-
ringing.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a dedicated following of at least however many of you
We
are
get
out
like
there.
200 to 300 downloads a month.
We get 200 to 300 downloads a month, Olipop. That's 200 to 300 customers coming straight to you.
Well, some of them are definitely repeat customers. I'll say that at least.
I love the idea that it's like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to bring you more revenue. Every single one of my the members of my fan base will definitely go to you and buy some better.
Well,
Yeah.
listen to this. I would take an Olipop sponsor just for free soda. They don't even have to pay me.
You hear that, Olipop? We're cheap bitches.
Yeah, I will sell out in an instant. I want you guys to know the second someone offers me a dime, I will showboat them all over this podcast.
Really? Are we going to advertise phone games? Are we going to do, what is it, Raid Shadow Legends?
Shadow
Raid
Legends.
Shadow Legends comes into our shows up in our DMs, and I will talk about why they are the best D&D setting. Like,
That's why I play all my D&D games in the Raid Shadowverse.
You know, as prominent as the game is, as many people play it, I have no idea what it's about.
I
Not
want you to
even
know
a
the
clue.
only time I considered downloading Raid Shadow Legends was when the Persona characters were added in. When
They have
when-
the Persona characters?
Yeah,
in
I
Raid?
believe Joker and Makoto were both added into Raid Shadow Legends as like playable characters. I'm correct, right, Drew? Didn't we talk about this?
I think you're definitely correct. It was at least Joker, but every time
No,
I think
Makoto
about
was in it
this-
too.
Was it Makoto?
Yeah.
Every time I think about this, I think about the Mr. Beast dragons that keep getting released in Dragon City or something. Like, oh, I gotta play that game to get the Mr. Beast dragons.
That's what I'm saying. When they release my favorite characters in these mobile games, I'm like, should I download this just for this? Like, Fall Guys is running a Sonic the Hedgehog event right now.
Really?
And I was like, man, I'll play Fall Guys for the Sonic the Hedgehog event and never play again.
They've had a Sonic the Hedgehog skin for a long time in that game, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I definitely remember seeing that around launch when anyone cared about Fall Guys.
You know, we just sang happy birthday and went straight into like talking some dumb bullshit. Guys, it's our 1 year anniversary. This is episode 52 of Table Talk Friday. We've been doing this for a whole year.
Woo! Episode 52,
And we haven't missed a single week.
No.
So it should be down to the week. I didn't look at the date that we posted our first one. I think it was like a couple days from now. But
Something
That's
like
close
that.
enough. I'll take it. It's
dang.
fine.
Okay, and that brings up kind of what. Anyways, welcome to Table Talk Friday. My name is Seth Pittman. I'm joined by my two friends, Zachary Carvon and Andrew Romano. How are you boys doing?
Feeling pretty good and drinking my awful root beer, but it's my birthday, so I'm into it.
I've been sipping on this Yingling. It's pretty good.
Ooh.
And, since we're disclosing everything that we're drinking, I am enjoying my Miller High Life. It is the champagne of beers, and I am susceptible to all beer advertising, I think I found, because just to, go off on a random topic, I know, Seth, we're getting to the point of the episode here in a minute.
Go
But
ahead.
I keep getting ads for Michelob Ultra. I've never had Michelob, but, now I want it,
You hear that, kids? Beer is cool.
I hate that I'm also just a shill for marketing. Like, the second someone throws something in my face, I go, well, I gotta have it.
Yeah, it's not everything for me, but definitely, Michelob Ultra, it's worked. It's in my mind. I think about it all the time. There's a drug for multiple sclerosis, Kesimpta. I get that ad. I think about it all the time. I'm never going to need it. I hope, knock on wood. But but it's there.
Well, I told you about my new hobby, right? Walking through Publix.
Oh my gosh.
You have indeed.
And I we're not sponsored by Publix or any of these brands, but I walked around the corner in Publix today because I had free time and that's where I go. And so before I went to the gym, first of all, I walk up to the door because I'm like, well, I went to the UPS store to drop off something, and then now Publix is next door to the UPS store. I walk up to Publix and there's a big old sign and it says $5 sushi. And I say, yes. So I go back there and buy $10 of sushi. Thank you very much.
Which defeats the entire purpose of the sale.
But I bought $10 worth of sushi, which was two $5 sushi rolls. And first of all, I got to go off on another tangent because grocery store sushi, this is a hot take, guys. Write this down. This is going to be in the history books. People are going to say it for years to come. Grocery store sushi is meant to be eaten like chicken nuggets.
What do you mean?
With your fingers?
With your goddamn fingers. They give you the grocery store chopsticks, and then they give you all the little packets. They give you all that stuff. You don't need to eat $5 sushi with your chopsticks. What you do is you pull up to your local gym in your car. You pop open the top of that plastic container. You put your dirty fingers into your sushi, and you eat it like a chicken nugget. And if you're feeling a little spicy, and I mean spicy, you're going to take that wasabi and use it like dipping sauce.
Jesus.
I just want to stop you here because I thought I was going to be completely on board with everything you're saying. I couldn't be more wrong. You have made this sound like the most disgusting thing a human being could do. I just want you to know that.
And I did it today.
Good. That's good. That's very good.
I was really hoping the whole Publix thing would just kind of be a phase for you, Seth, but it's actually branched off into other habits that I don't appreciate either.
Personality.
Yeah, you'll record a podcast with a guy for a year, and then all of a sudden you learn that he just eats grocery store sushi with his dirty fingers.
Ew.
Now, granted, my hands had been washed recently.
Sure, but they're still dirty. You've got dirty fingers, Seth. You've said it yourself.
This takes me back to the marketing that I was talking about because, of course, I went down I needed to fill up on diet sodas because I had run out at my house. And as I'm walking down the aisle, I walk by a buy one, get one for C4 energy drinks, which we're not sponsored by. And I went, $2.79, that's a steal. And so I got 2 energy drinks too. And at my local gym, they're $3 a piece. So for less than the average price of these C4 energy drinks, I have 2 now. And I drank one on the way, so I have 1 left over.
Did you dip your sushi in that too?
I did not dip my sushi in that, but I did use the wasabi like dipping sauce. For the small pieces, because the big pieces taste good.
Right,
the small ones weren't worth it. It was like you know it. Come on, everybody knows what I mean.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, I will, admit this. People in the area say that Harris Teeter has the best grocery store sushi.
It probably does.
It's good. It's really good. But I've had Publix sushi, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Publix sushi.
Yeah, and it's $5 on Wednesdays.
And it's $5 on Wednesdays.
Now, if that's not a ringing endorsement for Publix, because I am a shill for any sale they put on, I I have the Publix app on my phone now, and they
No,
have digital
Seth.
They have digital coupons.
That's the bottom of the barrel, Seth.
I know.
And they're not even a sponsor.
They've got me. I'm a shill for Publix. Publix. The second you offer me free $5 store sushi, I will advertise on this podcast. You just
Free $5. So are you okay with paying $5 for it if they call it free?
Well, no, they need to offer me free food.
Okay, then I think the $5. Let's just forget the $5 part. That part.
But if
doesn't
they
matter.
say you can only get it on Wednesdays, I'll still do it.
okay,
When it's cheap.
I mean that's reasonable. I
Yeah.
feel like free sushi anytime you're gonna drive down the sushi market. All of a sudden, they're not gonna have any more sushi left.
I did one time buy Aldi's like frozen sushi just for the experience. It was awful.
Really? Is that
It was
bad?
awful. I remember tasting it and going, "Wow, I am a shill for cheap." I love cheap food, and I wouldn't buy it again.
Ooh. I think I have to fess up. I've never had grocery store or gas station sushi before.
Now, gas station sushi, that's an interesting proposition. I have not had gas station sushi. I don't think I will. Just based on those three words together, hearing it in my mind just paints an odd picture.
No, I feel like it's definitely the premium sushi nowadays. Like, so now that you guys have tried all the different grocery store sushis, you might have to go around to like a 7-Eleven, a QT, something like that, a Shell. Just try some different sushis.
Well, QT and Shell, I don't think offers sushi options. 7-Eleven, I believe, sometimes does. Yes.
no, they usually offer them less ethanol.
I forgot where we even got to this.
I don't know,
It
man.
was marketing. It was marketing.
Happy
Marketing.
birthday, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, guys. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm excited. Now, the reason I was really excited to do an anniversary episode, which, first off, I want to say to anybody who made it 12 minutes into the episode at this point that we do have a Patreon that is launching today. Today, you can go onto our Patreon, and we will give plenty of details later. There's going to be extra episodes. You can get extra episodes early. You can get our post shows, all kinds of extra content over there on Patreon. Love it. Check out the tiers. It's in the description, and you can email us at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com.
Just for fun.
Yeah, and that is not what I was about to say, but I wanted to throw that in there before we went off on a tangent because I think I want to talk about the origins of Table Talk Friday. Now, Zach and I think it was after our sophomore year or after our junior year of college.
We definitely talked about doing a podcast all through our sophomore year, but we didn't seriously talk about, hey, Seth, just you and me, let's do a podcast together until, and I believe this was the birthing moment in both of our minds, we were hiking
Yes.
on one of the mountains nearby. I don't remember
One
which
that
one.
we probably got lost on, as happened every time.
Yeah, exactly. But I wasn't. It wasn't the one that we started at the top and then hiked back up.
No, we
That
didn't
one
have time for that.
that was a
one.
miserable experience for me. But Seth, we might have even mentioned this on the podcast at some point. I feel like, but you were leading me like an NPC does.
Yes,
in
we've
a video
talked
game.
about this. I love it. Yeah, every time Zach got close to me. See, now here's how I recover on a hike. If I'm tired, you'll know I'm tired because I will throw every ounce of energy I have into one sprint until I get to a spot where I can take a break. So I sprint up the mountain and stop somewhere and go, all right, should take about 5 minutes for Zach to get here. I'll wait for him.
That's exactly what happened. And like I was putting every ounce of energy that I had into that, but it came out in slow ass steps. I was holding the analog stick at just very slight tilt, and
Yeah.
Seth was holding down the sprint button and
It's
waiting.
like the game was keeping Zach's energy at bay, and all of a sudden my character just had no fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. I was over encumbered in Skyrim.
Yeah. Or like you were in in Final Fantasy VII Remake, like in a walking segment where like you have to go slower, or in like any of those story games where they slow you down on purpose to to build the suspense.
Yeah, huh?
I was thinking those really over-encumbered escort missions that you have in like Skyrim games or something.
Oh my
Where they're
gosh.
following you, but they're so slow. Or worse, they follow like 2 feet behind you, so you can't get back through doors and things. You have to jump around them or try to charge through them.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it was sort of like that. We could flip it around. I'm the escort quest, and Seth's the impatient player. But if he gets too far away, then I stop right where I am and I say, "Where are you, Seth? Seth, where are you?"
that was weird when you did that the couple of times that day when you just stopped moving and you started yelling, "Where are you?" and the time you broke into tears.
Oh no!
Yeah, that time I cried. I said, "Seth, I'm never gonna get up this mountain. You're gonna have to cut my legs off and eat them for sustenance. We're trapped."
Anyways, Zach and I had a wild summer of hiking, and it was so much fun. We would go like every other weekend off to a different mountain and hike. And along the way, you know, a big foundation for Zach and I's friendship was D&D. You know, the reason we, you know, like each other is because there's a bunch of mythical creatures in between him and I.
Exactly.
And so when we're doing all these hiking trips, what's our main topic of conversation but Dungeons and Dragons? So we're talking plenty about and how we were both single at the time.
Yeah, that too.
So
We said, I'm single, you're single.
you know.
I wonder if they have anything to do with one another.
Yeah. So we on these hiking trips, we would very often just talk about Dungeons and Dragons and ideas and have these conversations. And I believe one time I mentioned to Zach, I really want to start a podcast. I had been wanting to start a podcast for years because I'm an avid podcast listener. I've been listening to podcasts since probably since freshman year of college, where I just keep up on, you know, my weekly dose of podcasting. So I've been saying for a long time, I really want to be a podcaster. I want to listen to stuff, or I want to use like the skills that I've gained from listening to stuff. And, you know, we were performers, so it wouldn't be that hard to, you know, take our trade and put it into like an online setting.
Yeah, we both have microphone discipline, and that's pretty much all you need to run a podcast these days.
I mean, and a personality.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad there, I guess.
So we threw out the idea of doing a D&D podcast, but not the typical type of D&D podcast where you talk or where you actually play Dungeons and Dragons, which nowadays you would call a live play podcast. We wanted to do one where we kind of just talked about specific topics and, you know, more just in general about the game. So we devised this plan, coming up with all kinds of different ideas. I believe my favorite idea that we came out with that we haven't even done on the show yet was different ways that you can use Dragonborn. And we haven't even done that on the show yet, but my original idea was I would love to talk about the different Dragonborn societies, different ways they can be used in the game. And I remember pitching this idea to Zach and being like, yeah, I feel like I have a lot to say on these kinds of topics. We should do a show like this. And we talked about it all summer. And it was a great idea. And then we never did it because that's what you do whenever you are young in college and have no money or way to back up your words.
Yeah, I think our original working title for the podcast was Lorecraft. I think that's what we were gonna call it.
It was like Lorecraft.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about like just different ways to update your D&D lore and like ways to remix it and that sort of thing. But that name is pretty bad. I think we can all agree that name's pretty bad. I don't know how much better Table Talk Friday is, but I like it a lot more.
I think
that's
Table
what we
Talk
went
Friday, a D&D podcast, is a lot of fun for me to say. And the Table Talk is like a verb. Or like an adverb. I don't know. It's like a verb because...
It's a noun. It's a thing.
Yeah, but, you know, when you're at or the table talk is the conversations you have at the table before you play a tabletop RPG, right?
Sure,
That's
yeah.
like the table talk. That's how I think of it in my head for some reason. I know it's supposed to be a play on like the word tabletop, but I just think of table talk as, oh yeah, you know, every time we go into a D&D session, that like that 30 minutes where we're all just hanging out, that's like the table talk section, you know, the pre-game to the D&D.
The D&D pregame. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
exactly. And Friday, because we used to always play D&D on Fridays, so it just went back into our personalities, or like not our personalities, but more like our routine, our schedule. You know, Friday was a big deal for us, where every Friday is when the boys got together and played D&D, and that had to be included in our podcast, right? We couldn't not have Friday be a part of the podcast.
Well, yeah, of course. And, you know, we might cringe at this now, but we also called it No Fuck Friday, of course, because no one's getting laid that night. We're playing D&D.
Yeah, and I still love that idea and everything about that, but we can't have fuck in the title because then you'll never get a sponsor.
You know what? I think that's how we came up with the name. You were like, we should call the podcast No Fuck Friday. Or someone was. Maybe it was me. I don't remember. But then we said, okay, no, but we like the word Friday. So what can we do with that?
I feel like No Fuck Friday though was definitely up there in the options. I think we definitely debated it for a short bit.
Yeah. No Fleep Friday. We could like do the asterisks or whatever.
Oh yeah. We could have bleeped it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Friday Night something we had in there. We were throwing around a lot of titles, and that doesn't even take us to the fact that when we actually decided to go forward with the podcast, Drew and I were living together at the time, and during that time, we were getting really into like world building and 3D printing our own minis and being like, what can we do? What can we make in the D&D like world? And we came up with the idea we wanted to like make our own like little D&D starter packs almost, where we would like 3D print a bunch of stuff that people could use for the first time and sell them for pretty cheap. And that was an idea, but then our 3D printer stopped working, and that idea eventually flew out the window. And part of that was that we wanted to have a podcast to go along with it, so we can kind of put things out there, advertise, give a lot of advice to the people who are trying to get into the game, or people who are into the game but don't feel like their games are up to par, or just want to hear more advice from people from different perspectives, because even amongst the three of us, very different DMs, very different perspectives on the game. So what we ended up coming up with was Zach lived nearby, we lived nearby, and we were like, let's just pull the trigger and do it. Like, it's not going to hurt anything. We have our idea. We want it to be a D&D advice show, and we'll start with basic topics, starting a group, being a good DM, good players, what our experiences of the game have been so far in the 4 or 5 years we've been playing. So that's how the game was, or that's how the podcast itself was like birthed a year ago. And I wouldn't say it's like exploded or anything, but we have like a solid foundation now, which is I'm very proud of the work we've put in this year.
Yeah, it's really cool to kind of think about our origin story. First of all, I haven't done this in a while. This has just become part of our life now. We just get together once a week and do this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But thinking back to when we were first working on our 3D printer, I think that's where the idea for me, or at least where I started getting on the bandwagon with you guys of doing this, was because we really wanted to give back and help the D&D community grow, because we wanted more people to play with. We wanted to hang out with people. We wanted to hear more stories, We were talking about selling different, the printing packs we were talking about before, which was super cool, by the way. The stuff we printed is pretty nice. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see that we evolved from, melting plastic to talking to people across the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to be completely clear, I haven't thought about our origin story either. And when you went into, how did this all start? I've just been going on a trip right now. It's like going through memory lane.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this since we came up with the idea of like we're going to do an anniversary episode. We don't have a specific topic this week because we want to talk about like the actual concept of what we put behind this, and it's been a ride. I've enjoyed doing it a whole lot, and I don't want to stop at just Table Talk Friday because I've enjoyed the producing role that I've taken up, where I get the podcast together, I make sure we have everything going, and I post it every week. I've enjoyed that producing role and coming up with more ideas. We all pitch out our topics that we're going to go with every week, and I'm like, man, I want to make more of these. So I've been throwing ideas to you guys about other podcasts that I want to do and stuff, and I'm super excited with the foundations for everything I have so far, but I need more. I definitely need more time before I can start those up, especially because all of our studio space is at Zach's apartment right now.
And I love having it here, and it's it's a pleasure to house you guys. It's definitely weird though, because we always used to do it over at your guys' place.
Yeah, in my bedroom.
Which, all these extra podcasts definitely takes us into the big reveal that tomorrow we're actually launching our Saturday Talk Friday podcast.
Oh, no, we are not.
So all the fun of Table Talk Friday, but on Saturdays. It's going to be a hoot and a blast, boys.
Yeah, don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him.
He wasn't there when we made the Patreon.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue, Zach, because I want to talk about the fact that we are taking Table Talk Friday to the next level. This entire year, we've just been making like free content, and there's no problem with that, making content that's completely free, but it does take up our time. And to those of you who are avid listeners of Table Talk Friday, well, you might be a little bit excited to hear that we have a Patreon that we are starting up. Now, what this Patreon is going to host is a variety of different features. And we, so far right now, have 5 different tiers set up. But the important ones, I think, are the lower cost ones. Our $5 tier, where you can get our exclusive post shows that we do every week. So after every episode, including this one, you guys may have heard last week, we actually posted our first post show because, the pandemic hit pretty hard around our area. And a couple of us members were affected by that. So now that that has been resolved, all post shows in the future will be exclusive, thankfully, and we'll be able to go forward creating them after every single episode. And those will be exclusive to the $5 and up tiers in our Patreon. So those will be posted there. It's going to be probably like 10 to 30 to, however long we talk, minutes of extra content after every single episode. Boom, lots of extra content for you. On top of that, if you go up to I believe it's the $10 tier, you can get the next week's episode early. So that means we're going to be one episode ahead at all times. But if you're on the Patreon, you get an extra episode, or you get the episode a week early. So from now on, whatever episode is coming out on all platforms will actually be recorded before the next one that comes out.
Correct.
It's hard for me to word.
Now, that does not include the Table Talk Saturday episodes. You will have to tune in separately for those on Saturday mornings, unfortunately.
Well, but they only exist on Saturday morning. It's time zone specific. So if it's Saturday morning where you are, then you have to listen to it. There's a 30-second window in which the episode will be released in your time zone, and then after that point, you don't get to listen to it. So
ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez,
so
I hate you guys. I'm over here trying to explain our tiers. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the other two, so I need you guys to fill some space for a couple of seconds.
So before you bring up those other two, I just want to say that I am actually other three. I want to say that I am really excited to actually get some extra content out, because realistically, I love doing this with you guys. I love talking about D&D for a whole hour. And what you guys don't get to see is that after we finish recording, we still sit here for at least another 30 minutes talking about stuff anyway. So we might as well give you the extra content.
Okay, so that first tier I told you guys about is called the Front Gate Eric tier. $5, you get the post show. Second tier, Top Stair Eric. Top Stair Eric, and that's when you're going to get early access to every single week's episodes. Now, our $25 a month tier is Producer Eric. You will count as a producer for the show, and we're going to read your name at the beginning or end or both of every single episode. So you're going to be getting patron shout-outs in every episode of Table Talk Friday for the month that you subscribe. That's pretty fun. The $50 tier is Broccoli Eric, also known as our player, Patrick.
Of course.
So we named that tier after Patrick. He's Broccoli Eric, and he's one of the gang. So every single month, as long as we have people in this tier, we're going to be doing an exclusive Zoom call with the three of us where we all get together, hang out, shoot the shit, talk, give advice, or just hang out. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, or with each other, or all of the above. So probably like an hour or two long Zoom call that we'll be doing there, just hanging out with our lovely Broccoli Erics. Now, the last tier and the biggest tier is the $100 tier, and that's Firefighter Eric. At this point, you've committed to the podcast. You're a big deal. You're here for a lot of fun. And here on the $100 Firefighter Eric tier, we're going to be doing monthly one-offs. That's right, some monthly one-offs just exclusive to the people subscribed to that tier. We can only cut it off to a certain point probably, just because we don't have unlimited time to run one-offs, but each of us will be available. So, if 15 to 20 people want to be in the Firefighter Eric tier, well, by golly, you can actually absolutely subscribe to that. Now, this Patreon, yes, it does look like it's exclusively a way for, money to be made out there, but this is getting money back to us so we can actually make more stuff for Table Talk Friday. We want to make merch. We want to have stuff explode. We want this podcast to be one of the most successful D&D advice podcasts out there. And the way we're going to do that is by having more money to put into the podcast to then put back out for stuff for you guys.
And of course, all of this is, we don't take any of this for granted, and we appreciate everyone's viewership. But if you like the show and you want to support us, feel free to indulge in our Patreon. And I'm sure last week, if I just may toot our own horn, the post show was a banger, and I expect more banger post shows to come. So
one of my favorite conversations we've ever had. Just me flipping out about Cloud having small arms. And guys, honestly, upon further reflection, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake this week. Cloud is a fit man. And I love the heck out of Cloud. He's a great character. He's a good looking dude. So I don't fully take back the I still have bigger arms than Cloud. But but he's a good looking dude. And that's all I got to say about it.
Is this gonna be our first recall episode? Do we have to take it back?
No, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it back.
You need to do an apology video.
Oh, yeah, I
To
do the
Cloud.
I do the typical YouTuber like I'm sorry.
I didn't think I'd have to make this episode, but
I never wanted to say something like this, or I really need to admit to what I've done, calling Cloud or saying that Cloud has small arms. But some of the angles they get his model at in that game, I'm like, ooh, his arms actually look really good there. I know. Look, I don't need anybody to email me and tell me that what I'm saying right now is all about that it's all toxic and it's bad. It's bad. It's bad to look at someone's body and judge them based on that. I know, and I'm perfectly aware of it. I don't need anybody to tell me that.
hey, Seth, this shaming that you're doing of Cloud's arms, it's toxic actually, and I think you need to know that.
Yeah, I know.
You're welcome.
I'm perfectly aware of it, and I'm willing to admit it, and I am working on it.
The next post show is actually just really hyping him up about how big his arms are, just to make up for it.
Dude, he's a good-looking man. Barrett, though, still way better looking than Cloud. I mean, come on. Have you looked at Barrett?
Well, yeah, he's ripped.
Yeah, he's shredded to the nines.
To the nines?
To the nines.
Is that a thing, or did you just make that
I
up?
just said that.
That's amazing, Seth. What an awesome turn of phrase that everyone's going to be saying from now on.
So many people are going to say shredded to the nines.
I really worry sometimes, and maybe I even lay awake thinking, is he just comparing two anime characters right now based on their arms or their finesse? I don't know.
Do you want to know something? I'm not going to tell you what I did this week.
Oh, no.
Seth,
Now
you
you
can't
have to
bring
tell
up what
us.
you did this week on the podcast and leave us all in suspense.
The hottest character in Final Fantasy VII Remake is Tifa. I mean, come on. Everybody knows it. Everybody's seen Tifa, and you're like, wow, she's hot. I looked at one of my coworkers, Yancey, one of my best buds, especially probably my best work friend. I walk over to Yancey, and I was like, you ever see a girl that looks like this? You give her my number.
Oh, no.
And I showed him a picture of Tifa.
I hate this. I hate all of this. Just staring at each other in disappointment here.
And this is all... I always say these things as a joke, but I'm serious.
We all know.
Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. This is a good episode.
Is it
This
though?
is a good episode. Okay. So, yes, that's that's our Patreon, and there will be plenty of post-show talks like that for days and years to come where I just say way too much of what's on my mind.
Now, I will say that if we go forward with more post shows and you hear more of Seth shaming people for their fitness levels, I will, I'll refund you for the subscription if we have to. But
Drew will refund you.
I'll refund you guys. I got you. I got you covered. Clip that.
So noble of Drew. You shouldn't say that on the podcast because it will happen. I can guarantee that Seth is going to continue to shame people, fake people, of course, for their
JK
body
trademark.
types.
Is that how that works? Copyright.
JK.
I think that works. I think it's pretty good. So, I want to bring something up. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, guys. Totally irrelevant, off topic, but I want to just throw it out there. I have a hot take. So, I don't know if you guys are into superhero movies. Well, I know you guys are. But there are some movies that are definitely better than others. And I've been hearing for the last few months about a very terrible movie. A movie that has been shat upon for many months about being a flop or being lame. The CGI is bad. But I want to give just a little opinion here that Morbius is a good movie.
Drew,
Did you
have you
watch
watched
it?
Morbius?
Morbius.
You loved
I
Morbius.
loved
Oh
Morbius.
my freaking god! You're one of the bad
I
guys.
liked it. It
You're
was
a bad
very
guy.
good.
You're like on the bad guy's side.
It was good. So I don't know what people didn't like about it, to be perfectly honest. I liked the movie the whole time. I was excited the whole time. I thought there were some really cool cinematic moments. The action was pretty cool. It gave me very Venom vibes, which I'm super into Venom. Maybe that's the problem.
I think that's not a good start.
Really? So, did you guys watch the movie?
I've seen the original Venom. I haven't seen Morbius. If
You haven't
that's
seen
what you're
Morbius?
asking.
No, I've
of
only
course
watched
not.
people talk about how bad Morbius is and gotten their reviews. I wouldn't watch a movie that's been rated like 20% or like a 20 or like a 2 out of 10.
I mean, let me be clear. I absolutely would watch a movie that's so bad, because then you might take some, ironic enjoyment out of it, right? Like,
Yeah, like The Room, yeah.
The Room is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and that's not an exaggeration. But Morbius,
It was quality. It was a good movie.
Now, no. I need to say something. Drew, I've known you for a long time, and I 100% believe this is a take you would have. After years of knowing you, I know that you mean this and that you're 100% serious right now, and there's nothing I can do to convince you otherwise. And if I start to argue with you on why Morbius is a bad movie just based on the clips that I have seen, I would not get through to you, and I will not try.
but please, Drew, I think we'd do you and this audience a disservice if we didn't give you the stage to tell us why Morbius is a good movie.
Oh, no. Please, tell me why Morbius is great.
It was solid. I feel like it had some really cool. First of all, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a really cool.
No,
metal-
please, spoil the movie. No one's going to watch it.
I feel bad, but okay. So one of the cooler moments of the movie.
Spoiler alert for Morbius.
For
Now is your chance
Morbius,
to get
yes.
out.
5, 4.
For Sony Entertainment Pictures is Morbius. It's Morbin time, baby.
So first of all, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. First, the transformations were actually pretty cool. I heard a lot of people really kind of crapping on the CGI. I liked it. I thought it was scary. It gave me almost a Doctor Strange 2 horror vibe. And I went into this movie, keep in mind, I don't like vampires. I think they're weird. Like of all the mythic creatures and like dystopian futures you could have, like whatever movie you want to call, like, any of the like Zombieland movies or, Vampire Diaries, whatever's Twilight, whatever comes out nowadays with all these, mythical creatures, if you will. I think they're boring. I think the whole wood and the stake is kind of weird, the garlic, kind of weird. But they took a superhero and made him a vampire. I think it's pretty solid.
Anti-hero, please.
Yeah, well, see, that's
Morbius is
what's
a
even
spider,
cooler.
Morbius is a Spider-Man villain, and that's all he'll ever be to me.
Well, now no spoilers about this one, but the ending was pretty cool. So if you're gonna, if you like your little post clips of Marvel, kind of leading into the rest of the universes and whatnot in the next movies, it does give a little cool moment, and I won't spoil that because it was pretty solid.
No, please tell me, who does it lead to?
I really need to know, Drew.
No,
I'm
please.
not going to watch
Please.
this movie without
No,
you telling
I'm not
me.
watching this movie. What does it go to?
Okay, so you'll have to correct me on his name, right? But the villain in one of the earlier Spider-Man movies, the flying, I want to say it's called the Vulture.
Yeah, Vulture. Yeah, so...
So he ends up meeting the Vulture. So the Vulture shows up, reaches out to Morbius and is like, hey, we should team up. And it ends like that.
No, okay, and here's what we need to say, which makes no fucking sense. Because it's supposed to be like a No Way Home thing. Like, for some reason, Michael Caine's the Vulture just ended up over here in Morbius'.
Michael
Yeah.
Keaton?
But that's what I said.
Michael Keaton
I don't know.
is in
I don't
the
know
end
why.
of Morbius?
I don't know why I
Yeah, he
said
is.
Kane. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Hold on. I want to see Michael Caine's or the Vulture. Excuse me.
Michael Keaton's the Vulture ends up over in. Yeah, no, I've heard about this, and it makes no sense.
What
it
do you
makes
mean?
absolutely no sense because he's not from the same universe as him. He's from Tom Holland's universe, so the end of No Way Home wouldn't leave Michael Keaton in Morbius's universe with Venom.
But in all the movies right now, everyone's swapping around. We're going into like false universes, different universes, parallel universes, right? So why can't anybody meet anybody right now?
Because there's also a cliffhanger at the end of Homecoming where the Vulture meets the Scorpion and they're supposed to do something and that still hasn't been resolved. So the fact that Michael Keaton would be left over here when his thread over here hasn't been resolved yet just makes no sense.
Well, what
and
if-
it's only there so more people will go see Morbius.
Well, maybe Morbius is going to show up in the next Spider-Man movie,
No,
and
he
we're
won't.
all going to have to watch it.
He won't. Everyone
I would
knows
watch
it's
it.
bad.
Oh, that would make it so much. Okay, first again, very Venom-like character, so I'm very into it. I love the whole anti-hero, kind of eating people, kind of not eating people, sort of a thing. They're not the typical heroes, right? Leaving out Deadpool because Deadpool was an awful movie, right?
Drew,
Drew,
I think you've just shot us in the foot. Anyone who loved Deadpool, which I'm not going to say that I'm not on your side. I didn't enjoy Deadpool very much either. But anyone who loved that movie and hates Morbius like a normal person, they're not going to pay a single cent to our Patreon. I defy
no,
you,
I would
listeners.
because we are both defying. No, I am defying Drew right now. I like the Deadpool movies. I don't love them. I'm not a Deadpool stan. I like them. I had a fun time watching them, and I feel like it was perfectly worth sitting in the theater and eating popcorn to a Deadpool movie. I don't really care to rewatch them. Like those movies. I sat through Venom multiple times with my friends because they wanted to watch it. I sat through Venom Let There Be Carnage, and I thought it was also worth sitting in the theater and watching, but I would never leave the theater and say that was an amazing movie. And then I also have sat through every single MCU film, to which Drew thinks that like 90% of the MCU films that I've watched, he's like, that just really wasn't fun. It's not Venom, basically.
Because Venom's the best.
And Drew loves the Venom movies. I mean, he loves the Venom movies. And all I have to say is the motorcycle scene goes on for like 10 minutes, and I hate it.
I mean, it was a little long. It was okay, but I mean, they branched into who Venom was, how he was helping him. That was sort of his intro scene, to show what he could really do.
You're right. It's great.
But let me paint you a picture right here, because I feel like I need to defend myself a little bit more, right? One of these Fridays, you get off work, you go home, right? You lean back, you just finished listening to the best episode of Table Talk Friday you've ever heard, right? It was great. You have a little beer, a little drink off to the side, maybe a snack, right? You just paid your $50 tier subscription to the Patreon of Table Talk Friday. You're about to go hang out with the coolest boys you know that you listen to every Friday, right? You ready to sit back, hang out with the boys with that playthrough, a watch together of Morbius. You're welcome, everybody. We might have to scale up the tier, to be honest. Maybe like a 7,500.
If everyone wants to get together and have a Morbius watch party, okay.
If you buy me $5 sushi, I'll do just about anything.
Which works out perfectly because Morbius was $5 to rent, so it's perfect.
It just seems like we're playing with fire here, folks. Because I say this now, but you tell me in 2 weeks, yeah, somebody paid for our Patreon. They gave us $50. They did, and they want to watch Morbius with you. And not only that, but next week, someone else pays $50 and they say, hey, I don't really want to talk to you guys about D&D anymore. I think I want to watch Morbius.
And
then the next week, no, hold on. This is going to keep happening, Drew. You've cursed us. Okay, we're in the Morbius timeline now because you decided to bring this up on an unrelated episode of Table Talk Friday.
On an anniversary episode of 1 year after we released a podcast, you said this is all my grand ploy to get the listeners, the viewers, the people that listen to us every week to watch Morbius.
I'm the marketing for Morbius. This is their best marketing ploy they have.
Oh my gosh, you would pick the worst one.
It was good. It was really good. He was flying around. He was super strong. He was beating and killing everybody. Oh, he was cool.
I'm not going to say that like the idea of like a vampire anti-hero or like Venom's so cool. Like I get that the character is cool, but it doesn't mean that the movie's good. I think
I agree.
That's the disconnect.
You know what?
Again, I have not watched Morbius, so if you, listener at home, want to pay us $50 and request to watch Morbius with all three of us, I will sit back. I will hold my thoughts until the end, and then we'll determine just how bad Morbius is.
Or our first Zoom call topic. Well, we don't have to have a topic, but if you join in and say, I just want to talk about Morbius, I'm totally down to just talk about Morbius with you and listen, because I have no thoughts. I've tried to argue with Drew on why the Venom movies, not that Venom's bad. I like Venom 2, and I'm very excited for what Insomniac's going to do with Spider-Man 2 and having Venom in it. That's going to be super exciting.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they already have a trailer.
Well, that's awesome. I don't watch trailers, Seth. I don't want spoilers.
Yeah, it's literally a brief thing where Peter and Miles are there and Venom's there too.
That's cool.
So I'm very excited to see what they do with Venom because he's very cool. But Sony just doesn't have a good Spider-Verse, and that's okay. They don't have to have a good Spider-Verse because we have a good one. We have multiple good ones. We have the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse ones, and we have the current MCU Spider-Verse, and that's all I need. That's all I need in my life. I don't need Sony Spider-Verse anymore, unless they make another Andrew Garfield movie, which I think he's a great actor, and his first 2 movies just didn't do him justice as an actor.
Well, and he did a pretty good job in No Way Home, so maybe we're ready to give him another shot.
He's just a likable guy.
Yeah,
I think he's a likable guy.
But why watch him when you have Tom Holland?
Because there can be more than one guy that's a good actor. I don't know.
Morbius 2, Tom Holland plays Morbius.
Could you imagine if every time I open up, I just comprehended what you just said. That was so stupid. But could you imagine every time I open up like Netflix or like Amazon Prime Video or something, and I go, why would I watch The Boys with Jack Quaid whenever I could just watch Tom Holland, and I turn off The Boys and watch Far From Home again, or like watch No Way Home,
or you watch Uncharted the movie featuring Tom Holland.
Yeah. Oh, I have a story about that. The other day I was with my grandparents. We were downstairs, and Uncharted is on the TV. It's currently playing on television, and they're watching. And the person who's over, she's a family friend, is like, "Oh, is that the one where like the guy's like it's with the guy's brother?" Is how she says this, talking about what's his name's brother in Uncharted. And he's like, "Is that the one with the guy's brother?" And he was like, "Yeah, I've already seen it. Like, it's pretty good." And I was like, "You guys know that's a video game movie. Like, it's based on a video game series that PlayStation's been making for like a long time." And my grandpa looks at me and goes, "Or did you think that maybe they made this? Or maybe they made the game based off of the movies?" And I looked at my grandpa and said, "Well, considering this came out, this past year, and the games have been coming out for over a decade now, yeah, I'm gonna assume that the games came first."
That's crazy too, because
it was so funny. He believed me. He was totally cool and he played it off. But like,
no, 100%. I haven't seen the Uncharted movie. I heard it's only okay. But the reason why I know it's only okay is because I didn't watch it, but my parents did.
Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy? It's because it's a Mark Wahlberg movie. Mark Wahlberg's in it, and adults love. I'm an adult, but like adults love Mark Wahlberg.
I heard that Mark Wahlberg got cast as Sully, and I do happen to like the Uncharted games, so I thought, wow, that's such a weird casting. He doesn't look anything like Sully. But watching like the tiny little clip of him in the trailer, he seems like he's doing a pretty good job. So like I almost want to watch the movie just to see if like that carries through the rest of the movie. But
I've just heard it's fine.
I hear it's just nothing too special.
Yeah, I've heard it's like a fine. It's like a highlights reel of the Uncharted games.
Yeah, something
so
like that.
If you've played Uncharted and you want to see like some of your favorite moments with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, sure.
Yeah, with young Nathan Drake and young Sully, because they're going to be making like 12 more of these with the same actors, I'm sure.
I don't think so. I doubt they'll make another one.
Probably not.
See, I don't know anything about Uncharted whatsoever, but you did say Mark Wahlberg and Sully, and I immediately thought, Mark Wahlberg's voicing Sully from Monsters, Inc. in the next movie?
Poor John Goodman.
Oh, we need more Monsters, Inc.
Never had the chance.
Yeah, where's Monsters, Inc. at? What are they doing?
We need a good one. The last one, it was all right.
Again, there's so many movies that I've seen, especially in the past few years, that I just feel are great. Sit down and watch them like in a movie theater movies. Then I'm like, oh yeah, that was worth me coming to the movie theater and hanging out. And I feel like Monsters University was one of those where I was like, oh yeah, that was worth me coming here. I don't really want to rewatch it, but like that was worth it. But Monsters Inc. I'd rewatch. That's a classic.
Right. Well, I think it has something to do with like as a child, every movie you've seen, there's like not another movie that you can say that this is like that movie. So I feel like there are a lot of times where you just have a formative movie, and then 20 years later they'll make something that's a lot like it, and it just doesn't glob onto your brain like the original did.
Let me tell you, Spider-Man 1 up until the Sam Raimi one, up until the scene where Green Goblin happens, where he's freaking like spazzing out inside that glass container, very formative to me, because I loved the origin story of Peter Parker, and then you get to the scene where that's happening, and now I'm too scared, I'm turning it off. And that happened, and that happened to me as a kid so many times. I get to that scene and go, all right, going to bed. And then
That's crazy.
And then go back. I'd go to sleep because I'd be like, okay, the best part of the movie is right up until he becomes Spider-Man, and then he becomes Spider-Man, and then the scary thing happens. He freaks out in the container. Either that, or like I would get scared and I would like close my eyes and wait until the scene would be over, and then I'd like peek out, and now it's over, and I'd be like, okay, cool. And I was really sad that he killed that one guy, like when he throws him out of the glass or whatever.
His scientist buddy.
The scientist assistant guy.
Yeah.
He throws him out. I think he died.
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he died.
Yeah, he's a villain. That's what they do. They
Why
kill
do you
people.
do that? Why would you kill him?
Later, he turns a bunch of
It made
people
me-
into CG skeletons.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Rewatching that movie before No Way Home, that scene one is hilarious. Like the way that he's just like throwing his body around in an obviously like coherent form, where I'm like, oh, he's just awake throwing his body around. Now, respect the hell out of him. Great guy. But yeah, he's like throwing his body around in there, and then we get to like the CGI scene. I'm like, this is a comedy. This is hilarious.
Well, and it's crazy that they decided to have the first big fight between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin happen like with all these parade floats, and they're like jumping around. It feels like a scene out of a video game. Like you could throw Super Mario Brothers sound effects over Spider-Man jumping off of the the
or like
parade floats.
the Sonic the Hedgehog boing off the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like there should be a boing there, but it doesn't happen. But it definitely, and it doesn't help that it was all CGI in 2001. So there's that. But yeah, it's a great movie. I still love it. Spider-Man 2 is probably one of the best superhero movies still.
Oh, I love that movie. We rewatched it, and I'd only seen it once as a kid. Such a banger. So I watching that movie again. Still, there is a comedy part whenever he's pulling the wires out of the sun thing at the beginning, and it's just him and two gigantic like coils, like two gigantic wires that are in no way like realistic to what like an actual cord would look like, and he's trying to pull them out of the wall. That's very funny. Rest of the movie though, so good, and the fact that like his powers wouldn't respond to him because he's having like mental health issues. Such a good concept. I love that. It's like, oh no, your powers still work. They're still there. You're just not confident in them.
Yeah, and as a kid, I didn't get that at all. I'm like, what? He has superpowers. How can superpowers be defeated by feelings?
Yeah, how can they run out?
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of powers, I love Spider-Man, and I am beyond thrilled that Miles Morales is going to be coming out and doing his own Spider-Man thing.
You're just talking about the Venom strikes. I knew you were
Why?
going to talk about it, dude.
Why are they called Venom strikes?
The
That doesn't
only
make
reason you
any
have this
sense.
feeling is because you like Venom.
It is. He stole it from Venom. But he's such a cool, like, Miles Morales is a very, very cool Spider-Man. I like the angle he takes. I think all of his costumes are very cool. Venom strikes? Come on, man.
No, I do agree with you. I just don't have, like, passionate feelings about it. I'm like, okay, cool. They call him that.
Well, it makes sense that a spider superhero would have venom. Because spiders, I don't know if you know this about spiders, Drew, but they are venomous.
They are.
So it does make sense. But it is a weird name because it's lightning. Like, it's a lightning attack.
Right, it's not a
called
poison
Venom.
attack.
And we've established that Venom is a thing in Spider-Man outside of that. So I agree. It is a weird name. Doesn't in any way ruin Miles Morales for me, though.
No, it doesn't ruin him by any means, but I'm definitely not excited to see the angle they take on, or whatever they may call them. Hopefully they don't call them Venom Strikes. Hopefully it's something else. Going through the Spider-Man movies, you start off with the first one. It was like, oh, okay, he makes his own web. That's cool. Second one, oh, okay, they actually have to make their own webs with technology. Oh, okay, that's a little different, And now we have Miles, who has just electricity, which I can't get behind it. It's just weird. It's too different from Spider-Man.
Well, he
It's
also
like-
has web shooters, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely is. The web shooters are cool. That's Spider-Man, right? Miles Morales, super freaking cool, right? I'm beyond stoked to see all his really cool costumes, especially like in the. It makes me think of the new Tom Holland costumes that he has in the newer movie with like all the Stark tech. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it makes me think of. But I don't like the Venom strikes. Ugh, it's so weird.
Yeah, they look cool though.
Oh yeah,
They look really
they look
cool.
super cool. But you know what else looks cool? Morbius. You should go see it
Nope.
in theaters today.
Okay, nope. Thank you for listening to Table Talk Friday. This week we only talked about whatever we wanted to talk about. It's our anniversary episode. It's our birthday. We can do whatever we want. Again, we have a Patreon now. You can find us on patreon.com/Table Talk Friday. Look us up. Super cool. We did get that URL, patreon.com/Table Talk Friday, which means you type that in, it shows up. So please go on there, check it out, subscribe if you're willing and able, and check out all the cool exclusive content. We're about to record a post show, a Patreon exclusive post show right after this, which means more content, baby, more things to listen to every single week. You can also email us with any questions, comments, and concerns at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com. If you have anything that you would like to tell us, especially, things that you would do on your anniversary, if you've got a wife, kids, what do you do on their birthdays? Do you have any birthdays you're celebrating this week? When is your birthday? You can tell us on tabletalkfriday@gmail.com. And with that, Miles, take me out.
I'm driving so fast, and my name is Miles, because I'm going for miles. It's like 20 miles an hour, at least 20 miles an hour. And I hope you have a nice rest of your day, and have a happy weekend.
Hi, me again. Thanks for listening to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. I think I said that at the beginning. If you'd like to follow the boys anywhere or send them any inquiries, anything you'd like to say to them, you can do so at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening to the show. Come back next Friday. Give us a follow, rate us 5 stars and whatnot. Have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.